Well, we knew this day was coming, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about this. Sony is ending physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They are still making physical games up until 2028, but then once 2028 and on, any new games after that point will all be digital on the PlayStation Store. So, what that means for us is...
Okay, we are cooked.
Them removing physical games, that completely restricts you into buying only from their PlayStation Store. And that means they can control the price whatever they want. They can control when stuff is on sale. They don't have to compete with, retailers and things like that. Like right now, Amazon is selling God of War Ragnarok for like $37 physically. On PlayStation Store, it's still $69.99. And now you gotta wait for them when they want to do a deal, if they even bother doing one. They could turn very much into Nintendo, depending on how they do things. I mean, Nintendo doesn't hardly put any of their first-party games on sale, and if they do, it's like $10, maybe $15 max. Like, it's hardly any sale whatsoever. And now you're gonna have that same issue with PlayStation, and PlayStation is a huge platform as well. Any game I'm truly interested in, I always buy a physical copy of, because there's gonna be a day where there is no way to re-download it, and you're gonna have to play it physically, and then you have to go find it, and the game could be $300 now, depending on how limited stock there is out there, and now that's only gonna get worse. I definitely am gonna probably snag up a few more PlayStation 5 physical games now when I get the chance, just because that's gonna happen. I know it is. Another thing this is kind of related to is, since I'm a video editor and I do it for a living, Adobe and how their practices are with doing the subscription. There's no way to outright buy their software anymore like you could back in the CS days, like CS 4, 5, and 6, and that's the only way you can use the software, and they can force the price upon you how much they want to charge for that. They've already gotten in trouble for it because of the monopoly of it, and I mean, PlayStation could do the exact same thing. I mean, how long before PlayStation locks out games just onto their PlayStation Plus premium subscription? I mean, they kind of already do that with some of their classic catalog. The only way to play some of their classic games is if you do the $20 tier a month to play it on there, or some of their cloud streaming. Like if you have a PlayStation Portal, you can only use half the features on it because you need to have a subscription through there. So that portion of it is only going to get worse, and we've already seen how it plays out with some of these other companies, and it never bodes well for the consumer in that regard. So just think about what you're supporting for the future if you decide to get a PS6 or anything like that, even if you can afford to get a PS6, because I guarantee you that's going to be a digital console only, because that's the whole point of doing this. And I would bet the cheapest one is probably going to be $800 or more. So we'll see. If you would have asked me, 3-4 years ago, Dustin, do you care if something's digital over physical? I would have been 50-50, and that's mainly because I still played on PlayStation periodically with my friends on PlayStation 4, and I run out of space, so physical games were nice because it didn't require you to have the whole game saved on the PlayStation to give you room. But as the new consoles came in, the PS5, all my friends have all switched to PC, mainly due to the indie game scene popping off. Phasmophobia was a big game for a lot of my friends to eventually switch over to PC that would have never done it in the past, but I helped them build a PC and get it set up. So everyone that I play with now all has PCs. Nobody has a console except for me. I have a PS5, and that's because I love the exclusives. I love Spider-Man. I love The Last of Us, Uncharted. Yeah, I just wish... I guess I wish I would have known that they weren't going to release any more Uncharteds or any more Last of Us, anything new, basically, on the PS5. But regardless, I still had it because I still enjoy the console as is, but I don't play it hardly that much, just on my downtime, or I'm itching to play a single-player game. Recently, I acquired my classic game collection as my parents are moving out of my childhood home. So I have everything here from NES, Super NES, N64, GameCube, Wii, PS3, PS2, PS4, all of my game collections. Looking back at that now, it kind of makes me kind of reevaluate why physical media is so important, because at the same time of them announcing they are stopping physical production, they also said they're shutting down the PS3 store. You know, it's a slippery slope. Right now, they're still saying you can download your games that you have purchased on there. And luckily, during the PS3 era, I pretty much bought all my games physical. There's only a few games that I have digital. You know, how long until they remove them? Like the movies they just did a month ago, or you just can't download the games that you purchased, you know? So that's the issue with going full digital, is these people don't understand. It's like eventually, if everything's digital, they can just flip a switch and everything's gone. Like all that money you invested, it's gone. Like at least I can make some of my money back if I decide to sell my gaming collection because they're worth something, you know? Right now, it's all phrased as gaming. It's like gaming, this is a big blow to gaming. But guys, Sony is a big manufacturer of Blu-rays in general, like the actual physical media Blu-rays. And they just announced 6 months ago that they were stopping production on Blu-ray recorders, so you can't burn new stuff on Blu-rays and things like that. And people back like 6 months ago were like, oh, that everyone's blowing this out of proportion. Oh, physical media is dying. And look at literally 6 months later, they're like, you know what? You're right. We're getting rid of all that stuff. And that kind of just makes me like, what's the point of having a console then? Like the whole point of the console was it was like a hybrid. You could watch your movies on it, but then you can play your games on it. It was multiple purpose. But now what? To watch your old Blu-rays, you gotta go out and buy an actual Blu-ray player, if they even still sell those. You know, they're selling them right now, but now you actually have to go back to buying a Blu-ray player. That doesn't even make sense. Make sure your PS4 and PS5s are up to snuff. I mean, if you have a PS3, it still runs like I do. That would work too. But I mean, there's going to be a point where they cut that off too, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was within the next year as well, especially if they're pulling back on physical media like that. I don't know. Like I said, looking back at my old collection actually made me really kind of reconsider maybe picking up a few games physically on PS5 before they're gone forever. But I got to do research, because, you know, I don't want to buy a physical game that isn't actually on there, because that's a big thing. I really keep tabs on Nintendo Switch 2 and what games are physically on the cartridge. For example, like Indiana Jones, I just bought that because that was a physical game on the cartridge. And I just saw that Elder Scrolls Oblivion was just announced to be physically on the cartridge as well, so that might be another one I pick up. But there's a reason why, because I like to go back and play these old games, and I'm probably not going to buy another console ever again. Like the PS5 is the last one. Like that is barely released anything for it as far as exclusives, and they could have. And I think the issue is just it's just takes too long for development time. You'll go through 2 console generations before you get a next game in the series. It's just ridiculous. So, you know, I guess I'll just stick with, you know, PC, and I can play my retro games whenever I get the itch, and, you know, that'll be pretty much it. But I tell you what, retro game stores are really gonna start popping off here shortly, because people are gonna still, you know, buy games for their collections and things like that, and those stores are gonna get real popular. And it's really good that GameStop started doing the retro gaming again, because obviously they would have been out of business in 2 years, because PlayStation, the biggest home console maker out there, if they're not making physical games to buy, I mean, what is GameStop gonna live off of? Fucking t-shirts? Okay. Fungo Pops? Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was gonna make a video on it, but it's only because recently I've gotten back into my old physical media with the old consoles and video games, and it kind of got me thinking. So all I gotta say is, if you're big into physical media and you like retro games just like me, there's a lot of people out there who have channels like this, so share the love if you want to stick around. I'll be making a video of my gaming collection here shortly, maybe for each individual consoles. I have a lot of physical games. Yeah, keep a lookout for that, but thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another one. Later.